So, you thought that you could just bully the entire country? You thought that you could just paint your ugly little murals on the streets? And that, I don't know, people would just stop believing what makes common sense and start believing your false narrative? Yes, that's not the case. Alright guys, welcome to another Logic Over Emotion video. Now before we get started, I want to take a few seconds and ask you to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. These type of videos need to be shared, and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like doing that if we're not engaging in these videos. So let's make sure that we're engaging, so that YouTube is actually recommending these type of videos to other people. Alright, let's get into it. Alright, so as you can see in the short clip that I showed you, there was a black woman outside of Trump Tower defacing a Black Lives Matter mural. Now this is very important in the large scope of things, mainly because there's not enough voices on the conservative side, you know, really ringing out and letting people know that this is not the way we need to govern our country. Now obviously we know that half the country at least believes in liberty, freedom, and the right to express yourself, because half of the country roughly voted for Donald Trump. Now, this whole idea of these Black Lives Matter murals and all this nonsense, I never understood it. It's not getting anything accomplished by putting these ugly paintings on the street. It's just really a waste of time and kind of a virtue signaling feel-good type of thing. It's not solving a single problem. Now, the irony in all of this that I can't help but see is the fact that you want to go and you want to destroy our history. You want to destroy murals and other historic statues. You want to talk about Mount Rushmore and this and that. And you know, the premise for all of that is that our history represents, you know, racist incidents, and we need to do away with this stuff. But what do you say to the people that look at Black Lives Matter as a racist organization? As an organization which is also divisive and doing harm to the country? Why can we not exercise our right to take down your racist murals and to deface them? You act like you're the judge of all things. Oh, well, this is racist, you know, and that's racist, and because I say so. And then when it comes to you putting this stuff, which is clearly racist, Black Lives Matter is literally the most racist organization in modern history. And soon you guys will be up there with the KKK if you're not careful with what you're doing. Because in actuality, the only oppressed people in this country at this point in time are white people, and I don't know, I guess us Uncle Tom people that tend to think for ourselves and want to get outside of the sheep mentality. You know, we're the only ones being oppressed, right? And you guys are out here doing all this nonsense, pushing this racism. I don't know. I think it's just like what the lady said in the video. Y'all just need Jesus. If you push the way you're pushing to get what you want, then nobody's going to respect it. Nobody's going to respect it. You know, if you are trying to take things which you do not deserve, then no one is going to respect you for that. It's the same, just like I respect a person less for getting a job or getting into a school or something due to affirmative action. I respect that less, because there clearly was someone more deserving than you, and simply because they had the wrong skin color, you were given their spot. That's racist. And thanks to someone who actually pointed that out in one of my other videos when I said there were no racist laws on the book, you were absolutely right in saying that affirmative action is racist. And so you guys actually, there's no laws on the books that help white people in the same way that it helps black people, when all we should be doing is looking at individuals as individuals. And this is the reality. I don't care that there's not enough black people here or not enough brown people there. All I'm going to ask is the question, are the people there more deserving than the people that didn't get in? If they are, that's enough for me. I don't need to know skin color. I don't need to know gender. I don't need to know anything else regarding the people. All I need to know is, do they deserve to be there? And that's the premise of, you know, how we should govern our country. And acting like these Black Lives Matter murals should be on these streets is ridiculous. And to the point where we've demonized the phrase all lives matter and blue lives matter. And people basically would say, oh, well, all lives matter and blue lives can't matter until black lives matter. Are you serious? How about this? How about we worry about Black Lives Matter when you worry about Black Lives Matter? How about that? How about when you stop all of this gun violence in your community, all of this nonsense with not snitching and letting little kids die, get shot? How about when you guys handle that piece of it, then we'll come back around and say, okay, now what can we do for the black community? But to tell you the truth, there's going to be nothing left to do. Because the black community is going to be just like the white community at that point. When we stop all the crime and stop all the need for police to be in the black neighborhoods, it'll be just like white suburbia. Problem solved. Because the cops, because defunding the police and all this other nonsense you guys are talking about is not going to solve a problem when the root of the problem is the people themselves. Not the police, not the institutions, not the establishments. All this nonsense that institutions are against black people because there's less black people in college or getting loans, all this nonsense. Like I said, studies have already debunked all that nonsense. Black culture, minority culture is the problem. But that culture is shaped by poverty. And that poverty is produced by terrible government policy. And that's where your focus should be on. Instead of trying to give even more free things to people, which has created the dependency, why not preach the message of let's stand on our own 2 feet, let's make a living, let's take care of our responsibilities. If I bring a child into this world, let's be responsible and take care of them and make sure that they're not going to be detrimental to society, but instead they will be an asset and a value to society and give something back. If that's what we were doing, we wouldn't have any of this. People like this young lady that defaced this Black Lives Matter mural are going to be very important to this situation, to us getting our country back. And like I said, I don't know what she had to risk or anything, because I definitely couldn't see myself doing that. I got 2 young kids and a wife, and I got to do all that. So what people have to understand is that those people are really being selfless when they do stuff like this. You know, when they get pushed to the point where they're willing to take on the punishment for doing something like this, because you know it's coming, right? You know it's coming. Now, if white people had to put White Lives Matter on the street, or cops were to put Blue Lives Matter on the street, no one would care and everybody would think it was racist. Everyone would come and would deface it. The police wouldn't do anything. The governors would sit there and side with all the terrorists, the domestic terrorists in our country, and they wouldn't do a thing. They would just sit there and wouldn't do a thing. Now, if again, we have all these situations that prove unequal treatment, and then we want to sit there and keep saying that minorities are being treated unfairly. Yeah, you're right. They are being treated unfairly. They're being given privilege that other people don't have. That's the only unfair treatment I see. You know, and so we need to make sure that we support this young lady. Now, I don't know if the link that I have is her, like if she actually owns the video or whoever, but I'm going to link it down below. Feel free to go over there, leave a like, leave your support. Let these people know that we're 100% behind them. Because I'm with them 100%. We need to take our country back. I'm just getting sick and tired of all this nonsense. And when people see these Black Lives Matter murals, they literally do see racism. Like, y'all were pulling down statues that nobody even cared about for how long? How many people walked past those statues and just didn't even care? You know? And obviously most people don't even know their history to start with. If you're calling most of that stuff racist. And this is the thing, even the stuff that may represent racism or whatever, hey, it's in the past. It is what it is. What good does it serve us to erase that part of history, right? And so you want to erase that part of history for being racist by beginning a new part of history, well, by beginning a new part of what will be history as racist. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you guys got to stop and think for 2 seconds what you're doing. But anyway, like I said, the goal is not for you guys to accomplish anything. All these activists, all they care about are lining their pockets and making a little money. They don't care to solve a problem, because if they solve the problem, they would not have a way to make any more money. They make money by division. Same way the Democrats line their pockets. You keep people mad at the other side. You keep them voting for you. You keep them dependent, and you ensure that you continuously, over and over in the cycle, get their vote and then get their money, get their vote, get their money. I mean, they've refined the process to a point where you guys can't even see it. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Just another reminder to comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure that you're sharing this video. Let's get this video out there. Let's support anyone who are going out of their way to do this, because this means a lot and we do need to take our country back. All right, guys, signing out. Take care.